Hi everyone, welcome back. So today I thought I would do a chit chat get ready with me. Me and Paul are off to like a gig tonight. Well, not like a gig tonight. So I thought I would film myself getting ready and maybe talk about, well not maybe, definitely talk about our wedding and our honeymoon. So I haven't done my hair yet, it's just blow dried, but let's get started. So, as I have explained before, me and Paul got married in July, and arranging a wedding is the most, it's definitely the most stressful thing I've ever done in my life. I used to think that people that would hire like wedding planners were just lazy and whatever, but now I'm like, if I had the money I definitely would have got somebody else to plan it because it was just a nightmare. Obviously worth it, but yeah, I came close to pretty much cancelling the whole thing a few times. So by the way, everything that I use is going to be in the description in case you're interested. We decided to have a twilight wedding, so we weren't getting married until 4:30, and I'm so glad that that was the decision that we made, because the thought of having to do a full, just do the whole thing, yeah, just the thought of having to do a whole daytime wedding and, you know, wedding breakfast and whatever was just horrifying for me. That no thank you. So that's what we decided on. We were really happy with that. That wasn't an issue. Finding a venue, first of all we looked at, I don't really want to say the names, but we looked at one venue that advertised a twilight wedding for £3,500. Obviously you could add, if you needed more people than that particular package catered for, then you could obviously bump up your numbers and they could cater for that, not a problem. Oh my god, woo! So I contacted them and they said, so what date is your wedding? So I told them it was for the next year, meaning this year, so this is last year when I contacted them, and they were like, okay, that's great, do you want to come and check out the venue and whatnot, and we can discuss things, go through things, whatnot. So I was like, yes, sound. Walked in to the place, it was absolutely gorgeous, and oh, I've got such dry skin on the end of my nose, and they were like, we'll show you the room, we'll go through everything with you, and then they were like, so what date was it that you wanted? And I said, oh, it's the 6th of July next year. And she was like, what day is that? I said, it's a Saturday. And she went, oh, that package deal only applies on Sundays through to Thursdays. And I was like, well, it didn't say that online. And she hadn't mentioned it when we were on the phone, otherwise it wouldn't have bothered me arse going down there. She was like, what I'll do is I'll check the availability for that day and let you know, based on that package and everything that you're getting it, how much it would cost for that day. So I was like, right, okay. So she comes back and she says, for that day, for that package, it's going to cost £10,500. So I was like, nope, we're going. So she said, hold on, I will speak to the manager and see if we can do a better price for you. So I was like, that'd be great if you could. Thinking it was going to be, you know, a lot less than what she originally stated. No, it was £1,000 less when she came back, so still £9,500 from £3,500. So you know that saying when it's like, if something's too good to be true, it probably is. Well, that was exactly the case in this instance. But in the end, we found our venue, and it was well within our price range. It was just perfect for us. I was really happy with it. Then the next saga was the bridesmaid dresses. So I obviously had a budget, and I did not want to be spending loads and loads on dresses and whatnot for something that wasn't even half a day. I couldn't justify it. So obviously, like, is it ASOS or ASOS, whatever, and like Boohoo and whatnot do, you know, like bridal ranges and whatnot. I found dresses on Boohoo that I really liked. So I ordered the sizes for my 2 older bridesmaids, and then 2 sizes for Faye, which is Paul's daughter, so that we could gauge what size would be best for her for the following year. The dresses that came for the bigger bridesmaids were absolutely fine. The dress that came for Faye, or both the dresses, sorry, that came for Faye had beads hanging off them, so we chose the correct size anyway and sent them both back and reordered the dress. Same thing happened, the beads were hanging off it. So I had to send that back again and reorder the dress. And this just happened maybe 5 times. Me ordering a dress, it coming damaged, and then me having to send it back, which was obviously costing me money. I was having absolute murder with Boohoo. Yeah, they just didn't care, basically. So in the end, I ended up with 2 size 10 dresses that fit my bigger bridesmaids, or my older bridesmaids, perfectly, and 2 size 14 dresses, both damaged. But I thought what I'll do is I'll just take the beads off one and put them onto the other to correct the dress, so that I have a perfect size 14. So that was that. So this was before Christmas, so dresses were sorted. Didn't have like them all perfect, but you know, it was fine, it was doable. And then in January, my cousin, who is like my sister and who was also my maid of honour, informed me that she was pregnant, and she would be 7 months pregnant when we got married. So that meant that the dress that I now have for her was not gonna fit. Yeah, I was panicking, to be honest. I was panicking. So I just decided that I was going to give up on those dresses. It hadn't cost me that much anyway, so I decided to buy some new dresses, which I got from ASOS, and they're absolutely gorgeous, and I was so made up with them. And in a way it worked out for the best that my cousin got pregnant, because I was much happier with the dresses that I'd got the second time round anyway. So yeah, I was made up with that. So anyway, the day went really well. Thoroughly enjoyed myself. I made sure to enjoy myself after all the nightmares. So yeah, it was great. It was good, but I would never ever do it again. I mean, I hope I never have to do it again anyway, but if I could do it all over, I would probably do it differently, just to save me all the stress. But yeah, it was good on the day. Well done. So moving on to the honeymoon, we always use a certain store to get our travel money from. I don't really want to mention who it is. Debenhams. So we ordered approximately £200 in Indonesian rupiah. We were going to Bali. So Paul picked it up on the Monday before we were due to go on holiday, and the person that was paying out the money to Paul had given him 3 bundles of cash and then some loose notes. So the amount that we'd ordered equated to 3,300,000 Indonesian rupiah. So she gave him 3 bundles and said each one of these bundles is 1 million, and then she counted out the loose notes. Fine. Didn't question it, just took it home, put it in the wardrobe, ready for us to go on holiday the next week. And then Paul gets a phone call on the Tuesday, so the following day, to say that this is not the call that I wanted to put on my lid at all. Debenhams phoned and said, do you still have the money? And he was like, yeah. And they're like, can you bring it in to us? And he was like, why, what's wrong? There's been a problem with the money. Can you bring it in? And he was like, what's the issue? We can't discuss it over the phone. Okay. So me and Paul decided to leave work early that day to stop by Debenhams on our way home to find out what was going on. Went up to the counter, the travel money counter, and Paul just said, oh, I received a phone call earlier today regarding an issue with some travel money that we've received that we picked up yesterday. And the ladies were like, yeah, sure, I'll just go and get the person that you spoke to. And the person, I at this point went to look at all the shelves and whatever and browse, and I seen a lady and a man approach Paul. Like, it needed 2 of them to approach him, and I thought, that's a bit heavy-handed. That was like completely unnecessary. When I got over there, they basically said that, yeah, we've overpaid you quite considerably, and we know it was you that has the money because we got you on CCTV, as though somehow Paul had orchestrated this overpayment and had knowingly taken the money. At this point we hadn't even counted the money, so definitely count your money if they don't count it in front of you first, because they could have quite easily underpaid us as well. So just check your money. They basically were making out as though it was our fault somehow, and they said that, you know, if we didn't bring the money back then they would take action against us and whatnot and whatever. And it was just really underhanded and unnecessary the way they went about it. It was just bad. So anyway, we're still having issues with them. Obviously returned the money, but yeah, I will never ever go with that place again. So after all that hoo-ha with the travel money, we go on our honeymoon. Now, we wanted to experience Bali for Bali. We didn't want to go in like a big fancy restaurant because we can do hotel because we can do that anywhere. We wanted to get a bit more of an authentic Bali experience, so we found a really lovely like villa complex. There was only about 6 or 7 villas with 2 apartments in each, and it was absolutely gorgeous. Loved, couldn't fault the hotel at all, or villas, whatever you want to call it. There wasn't much around. There was a veggie place over the road, which is absolutely gorgeous. I cannot fault the food in Bali, it was to die for. But yeah, our favourite place to go was about a 25-minute walk up the road. to a place called the Blue Monkey. Absolutely loved it in there. Food was amazing, drinks were amazing, atmosphere was amazing, owner was amazing, just amazing. So that was like our little local place to go to. So as I say, there wasn't much actually around where we were. So in the second week we hired a scooter and we went on little adventures. We went to water park one day, monkey forest another day, one of the waterfalls and the zoo another day. And the day that we went to the zoo, which was the Thursday I think, before we were due to, yeah it was a Thursday before we were due to come home the following Monday. We were coming back to the hotel and decided to jump in the pool before we went up to our room, and there was a Dutch lady there that we got speaking to, and she had lived in Bali for 13 years and unfortunately her husband had died 3 months previously, so she decided that she was gonna like move, so she was moving to Spain. And she was like, so where have you been, you know, going for food and stuff, because the place where we were staying didn't actually have like a restaurant or anything on site, so you had to go off site to get food and drink and whatnot. So we were like, oh, we've been going to the veggie place over the road and the Blue Monkey is our favourite place to go. And she said, oh, I used to live like right by the Blue Monkey, it's amazing in there. It is. She asked us if we just jump a taxi up there, and we said no, we'd been walking, we like to walk anyway, so no, it's not an issue for us to walk 25 minutes up the road to go somewhere. So she was like, oh, be careful. When one of my friends had come to visit me when I was still living where I was living, she was walking down one of the roads in that area and somebody went past on a scooter and robbed her bag, stole her bag from her, and we were like, oh my god, that's awful. And I said, well, I actually wear a crossbody bag, and she said, you should be all right then, but just be careful. So I was like, right, okay, thank you for the heads up. Although we'd been going there most nights for, you know, a week and a half at the, well, no, just over a week, and we hadn't had any issues or whatever. So we were going to the Blue Monkey that night for tea and drinks and whatnot, and when we left we were walking down the road that we'd walked down so many other nights, and I was closest to the road. Well, we were on the road because there's no like pavements or whatever, and I have my bag over my right shoulder on my left side, so myself and my bag were closest to the road. And as we were walking back, a scooter with 2 men on it literally drove into me, and before I knew it, all I felt was the strap on my bag tighten and snap as they were driving away. So they literally drove into me, grabbed my bag and drove off with the bag still attached to me. So thank God the strap broke, because otherwise they would have dragged me across the floor. The bag actually like ripped skin off my arm. I've got a very, very faint, like at the moment, scar. It should heal, like no doubt, but luckily the only thing that was in my bag was my phone, which was on its way out. It needed a new screen, and I believe the charging port was going funny as well, and it was also out of charge by the time, God, that looks scary. It was also out of charge at that point, so by the time they would have got it to wherever they were and charged it up, I'd actually rang O2 and had cancelled, blocked the phone, so they wouldn't have had access to any of me, information on their bank account or whatnot. Not that they'd be able to get in anyway, but you know what I mean. And yeah, it was just unfortunate that as soon as it was mentioned about, you know, bags being robbed, that I then go and get my bag robbed. And I just wanted to go home then, so it did put a dampener on the rest of the holiday. Just wanted to go home. When we got back from holiday, obviously people were like, oh, what was it like, and blah blah blah. We actually didn't, as well as the bag getting robbed, we didn't have like a great experience. So we personally wouldn't recommend people going there, but obviously everybody's experience is different. Loads of people absolutely love being out there and whatever, but yeah, we would rather go to Turkey, let's just put it that way. So that's the end of my story, so I'm just going to finish getting ready and then I'll be back. I forgot to mention earlier that I've stopped using powder to set my face. I've just set it now with setting spray. An article came up on my phone that was 10 tips that older women should use in regards to makeup. So I was like, I'll just give it a little look, and it suggested using setting spray rather than powder, and it's really helped with under my eyes, whereas I've got the most wrinkles, because when I was using powder it was just setting, like drying out and making my lines look worse than what they are. So now that I've started using the setting spray, yeah, I might look a bit shiny and whatever, but I'd rather look shiny than dry and crusty and haggard. So yeah, just to let you know. So that's it for this video. I know my story wasn't long enough for the length of time that it takes me to get ready, but I hope you enjoyed it anyway. If you did, give it a thumbs up, and if you want to see more, then please subscribe. Bye!